Call your sponsor.
Call you sponsor.
Call you
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
And to just hold space for myself is like, can still be foreign and scary.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. And I can give all day long, right? I'll talk all day long. I'll be there for other people. But when it comes to me and I need something, I'm scared to call. I'm scared to ask. I'm scared to reach out for help. I'm scared to say I don't know the way. And it's not, I've looked at it, right? Like, I don't see it as being part of my ego the more I've gone along. Like, sure, maybe way back when, but now what I see and I'm uncovering, discovering, and hopefully discarding is that I see that I'm going to take up space in somebody else's world. And am I really allowed to do that? Is that really okay? Will they be placating me but be really annoyed that I called? Will I be rejected? Will I be embarrassed? Like, I'm so terrified to put myself out there that I'm like, I can handle it. Even when sometimes I can't handle it.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's a lot of this is like really, really, I mean, I feel like this is going to be, I think this is going to be one of many episodes dealing with this. There's so many different layers and facets to this. And I guess like through the lens of working a program and what are those actions is, the I don't know, I need help, can you help? Is where the healing is, and what I'm realizing is that it's okay to ask for help. Like, I've been practicing asking for help in other facets of my life, right? And when it comes to this facet, I sometimes, there are some old ideas, crusty old ideas in there. And so now I get to practice and expand in other ways.
I agree. And I have the same old ideas about it. And being vulnerable to me also when I'm doing it. Oh, I've told you that Brene Brown quote. Like, vulnerability is something we admire in other people but despise within ourselves. So when somebody else gets vulnerable, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's so brave. But if I'm about to do it, I'm like, probably not. We probably don't need. I just can try and pretend like I keep it all together. I will actually reach out to my sponsor and tell her I'm going through something and follow up the sentence with, yeah, but I'm okay. Like, like I have to put a button on it. Like, and it's like, I can't just let it be that I don't know what I'm doing right now.
I always share like stillness and space. Like, those are the things that I find difficult.
Say more. What's that?
It's a program of action. Let me take action. I need to take action. Let me fix or change or let me busy myself over here. Let me, avoid feelings, alter moods. Exactly what you're saying about service, and it's like I can easily end up in that mode of doing and busyness and not being.
And the other thing is, I can be rewarded for that busyness and abandoning myself to take care of others. Whereas when I was drinking and drugging to abandon myself, of course, I had all these horrible consequences, right?
Yep.
But now I can abandon myself helping others and I get praised. So where that gets me to, in my experience, is a lot of time in sobriety and not being able to feel what I feel on a color wheel chart. That's where I was.
Yes, I hear that. And the world, my experience in it, in the world of career and achieving and quote unquote climbing the ladder, it's like, quote unquote work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Workaholic is, branded as has a strong work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Is how
It's
I
a
put it.
win. It's
Yes,
a win.
yes, yes. Which, I guess like whenever I speak to you, it's like this is a program of balance and self-care and
Mm-hmm.
self-love and
Mm-hmm.
self-acceptance and
Mm-hmm.
compassion and kindness and all these yummy, yummy things, you know.
Equanimity. Yeah, I was just on a meeting and they said it was a really good meeting. We read actually the Bill Wilson emotional maturity thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, we should do that one time. It was so delicious and like it wasn't just meat and potatoes, it was filet and pommes frites. It was like so
Mm.
yummy. But one of the people started off their share with like, I just think Bill Wilson would just love Al Anon.
Mm.
And I immediately bristled
Mm.
and was like, no, if he would have, like, Lois loved it. Bill wasn't really drawn to that. I'm much more of a Bill than I am a Lois.
Yep.
And then I feel like Bill would have loved ACA. And I couldn't figure out how to articulate the difference. And then one girl shared about Al Anon and how it helps her detach with love from other people.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that did it for me, because in Al Anon, it's still about the other person.
Wow.
And in ACA, it is self love. That's it. Self love.
Wow. So just repeat that again so I could literally. Okay, so Al Anon is still about other people. Is that what I heard?
Al Anon's core message is how to detach with love
Mm.
from others, right?
Mm.
How to let them do their own thing and how to detach with love.
Mm.
And ACA's message is self love, period.
Wow.
So to me, if we think about it in the hula hoop analogy, it's like Al Anon is okay, I'm not going to look in their hula hoop. I'm going to try and get out of their hula hoop with love. And ACA is like, I love my fucking hula hoop. Period.
Wow, I love the hula hoop. I swear, can we just do a show all about just like analogies?
Analogies.
Yeah,
Yes. I
literally.
am
Like I want to talk
obsessed with
about gardens, I want to talk
analogies.
about flowers, hula hoops, tumblers. I mean,
Tumblers, glitter.
can we figure out how to fit a
Yeah,
stiletto in here? Like I'm just a corset. I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. I love analogies. They're not
oh,
all bangers. You know what I
oh my
mean? Like there are some where I'm like, the soup is in the kitchen. Wait, what?
god. Oh, that hula hoop. That hula hoop is back, Misty. I love that hula hoop. It brings
Mm-hmm.
me joy, that hula hoop.
Preach.
Yeah. So I guess the core for me right now, or the main message, is to feel my feelings, think my thoughts, um, have loving actions. Because I find myself without being conscious, just taking actions that are trying to switch my feeling.
Yes, of course. And that is nothing to balk at or feel bad about. Like that
Mhm.
is what you've been trained to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my experience, is that I learned somewhere along the way that just being in my body and feeling safe is not okay.
Yeah.
And how am I supposed to do all these years and decades and then just be like, oh, okay, now it's safe in here?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like so profound because I don't think I've ever really been in my body.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I feel like when I do get quiet and when we do get there, it feels like a death. And for
Mm.
me, it feels like something's wrong. And that's part of the what's familiar will become unfamiliar and what's unfamiliar will become familiar.
Mm.
But still, it can feel like a death and I'm doing something wrong when it's just quiet inside and there's peace. It's like, oh wait, whoa, what are we doing?
Hmm. So I want to say one last thing. When I was working on my 6 and 7 this year, it kind of dawned on me that at the core, it's about me finding distractions to avoid feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, keep going. Is there more?
No, no. Are
Okay.
you? Yeah, go ahead.
I know, right? It reminds me of a girlfriend who was in the middle of a breakup, and I called her because I was out of town and I knew she was hanging out with all of our girlfriends, like 8 of them in the backyard, and they were having like a girls' night, but I was missing it. But I just called to see how she's doing. And she said, "Oh, I'm doing great. I'm sitting here with blah, 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 blah. And everyone's trying to talk me out of feeling my feelings."
Mm,
So not only do I have an innate sense of we're feeling something, let's go buy groceries. Let's go to
mm,
Macy's. Let's go talk to other people and gossip. Like whatever it is, like whatever we avoid,
yep.
abandon. But I also like just like what we were talking about, there's an encouragement from society from everywhere around to not feel sad, not feel angry, not feel mad. We get it from all places of don't feel.
Yeah. Oh, feelings. Um, so we're coming up on our final five.
Yeah, yeah.
Any last thoughts, or do you want to go into a question?
No, let's go question.
Okay. What is something that you are finding difficulty asking for help about?
That's a really good question. Hmm.
Or it could be like past or present, I mean, I think it's, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely in the past has been when I'm really, really, really scared
Hmm.
that I don't know the way and that something's wrong with me.
Hmm.
I get really scared about who I can call and
Hmm.
say that to and feel safe.
Oh, God.
And I try it out on a couple of people and they don't get it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I'm like, okay, peace out. I knew it. Like I gotta go fend for myself.
yeah.
And that happened to me, I want to say about a year ago. And I ended up walking down to the beach and bawling my eyes out at the ocean and being very nervous that I was going to walk in with
Hmm.
many, many years of sobriety
Hmm.
and a beautiful son that I love and a life that I love, but just being so scared of me. What about you?
I totally identify. So to end your story, so then you ended up finding somebody then eventually.
That's when I started doing ACA.
Okay,
That's when
got
I
it.
was like, wait, I've been here so many times before,
Yeah,
and I've been to Al-Anon, and I do think it works for certain personality types. I do think it's great and a good asset. I really do. But for me, I recoil as if from a hot flame. There's something about it. And
yeah,
it may be because it's destined for me and I'll change my mind in 2 years.
yeah.
And I've been to Coda and I've been to all of them. And ACA, I think I started reading the literature and saw it just so loving and accepting and kind.
Yeah.
And I just went to a meeting, and in there, I was just bawling my eyes out because I'm like,
Mm,
all these people are saying is, be your real self. We don't care what that looks like. Just be your real self here. I'm going to be my real self here.
mm,
We don't care at all what your real self is. We're going to honor your real
mm.
self. Get there or don't get there, whatever.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Yeah, and we've discussed we both agree on today, at least, that, well, maybe you changed your mind. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the ACA is ultimately the trunk of the tree,
Yes, the
and then
roots. Yeah,
the
yeah,
roots of the tree,
and the trunk. Yeah,
and the trunk, and then the other branches of whatever, pick a anonymous program.
right.
Um, So I guess the difficulty, I think, is, there's a lot of judgment around career and asking for help.
Mm,
And I think I mentioned in a prior episode that I'm, looking for a new job, and I have been finding myself paralyzed and judging myself.
mhm,
And um, I think there's shame around
mhm,
all of that, that like,
mhm.
why, like, I shouldn't have to, and all this kind of stuff where it's like, what? No one, in my case, no one is saying, at least the people I've spoken to that I felt safe with, is saying, oh, you poor thing. Like, no one's, you know what I mean? It's like they're not adding to it. They're just like, oh, wow. Like, some are identifying and being like, I've been through that. This is what's worked for me. Or like, sorry to hear, you know what I mean? Or how can I help? Like, those have been the
Mhm,
responses, So, back to self love, more love for
mhm.
myself, more understanding, more compassion.
Right, because at the end of the day, if I'm not feeling whole and self-loved inside myself, it doesn't matter how many people I ask. And it doesn't matter what their answers are. They
Yeah.
can be completely unconditional or they can be rude and criticizing, but
Yeah.
it's not going to matter until, because I can't get from the outside in. It's just
Ugh.
not happening. And if I'll just go in there and be like, it's okay, baby girl. Like, it's okay.
Hmm.
It's okay
Hmm.
that you're scared to make that phone call. It's okay that
Hmm.
you're scared to go look at that site right now. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Right.
And something about that gives me the space of doing it 2 hours later.
Mm. Well, look at you. You just wrapped us up in a cute little bow. Right where we
Ta-da!
started. Fingertips to the back of the belly button. Oh my God. How beautiful is that?
Yay! All right. Well, bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Thank you, Misty.
Thanks, Sam.
Call you
Your
sponsor.
sponsor.
Call you
Call
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor.
Bitch.
Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
New
Call.
episode tomorrow. Send us an email bcysponsor@gmail.com. New